You are listening to Lesson 2, Chapter 1 of Form 5 History. Cameroon General Education. Narrated by Wacheseh Academy. How Ahidjo tightened his grip on Cameroon, 1961-1982. Dictatorship. Formation of a single party, the CNU, he was chairman, he eliminated autonomous organizations. A single labor union was formed, which was controlled by the state. He developed a powerful personality cult. He was chairman of the ruling party, head of state and government, commander-in-chief of the armed forces, etc. Had a strong security network. The BMM harassed his opponents, many thrown into prison for alleged acts of subversion. Local administrators were given powers to ban meetings, publications, etc. likely to challenge his authority. He ruled by decrees and Cameroonians did not enjoy the freedom of speech and press, etc. No separation of powers. The executive, the presidency could fiddle with the law courts and parliament. Parliamentarians owed allegiance to him, not to the constituency, and it was filled by his supporters. Suppression of opponents through death, imprisonments, exile, confinement, etc. Censorship of press as well as radio broadcast, theatrical, or artistic performance. Strong government control on educational institutions, especially the university. No free and fair elections. The CUN imposed list system was used to elect councillors and parliamentarians. He did not tolerate the issue of independent candidates standing for elections. Ahidjo created a unitary state in 1972, and there was over-centralization of powers in Yaoundé. Reasons why Cameroon became a one-party state. Ahidjo wanted to eliminate rival political parties or groups, and avoid any challenge to his authority. Ahidjo wanted to increase his influence and authority over the state of West Cameroon. It was to enable Ahidjo to isolate and silence the Upasistis still resisting the authority. To end profitless political warfare, especially in West Cameroon, which regarded development. To foster national unity, peace, and stability. The CPNC members felt that a single party would provide them greater chances of participating in national politics. The multi-party system encouraged a lot of tribalism and nepotism in the civil service. The burden of contesting national elections was too heavy for small parties. How Cameroon became a one-party state. Development in East Cameroon. In 1960, the legal wing of the UPC headed by the Mai Matip called for a great coalition with the UC and a united national front of all parties. At the UC Congress at Marua in September 1960, Ahidjo issued an appeal for the creation of a grand national party. The MANC of Charles Assail accepted other parties of factions. In 1961, Ahidjo deviated from a grand national party and advocated a Part 1 Unify United Party. By June 1963, the assembly in East Cameroon was dominated by the UC. The opposition bench could only count 6 Democrats and 1 UPC. The UC continued to woo, coerce and absorb other parties or groups, and in 1965, the last political party, the Democrats, decided to join the UC. In West Cameroon, the ruling KNDP and opposition CPNC welcomed Ahidjo's call for a grand national party in 1961 in order to increase their influence at the center. The UC and the KNDP reached an agreement in April 1962, creating an alliance. Ndali, fearing that the alliance could be directed against the CPNC, suggested to Foncha the formation of a single party in West Cameroon as the first step towards the formation of a national party. Ahidjo visited West Cameroon in 1963. Ndali held private talks with him, during which he strongly favored the formation of a single party. In 1963, the CPNC tabled a motion in the West Cameroon House of Assembly which called for measures to facilitate the formation of a single party. The KNDP crisis of 1965 and the formation of CUC influenced the KNDP to form a coalition government with the CPNC, which was an important step towards the formation of a single party. In June 1966, Ahidjo invited the 3 political party leaders of West Cameroon and the Prime Minister of the federal state to a meeting in Yaoundé. The political leaders agreed to dissolve their parties and a steering committee was appointed to draft the status of the party. On September 1, 1966, President Ahidjo announced the birth of the Cameroon National Union, CNU, a merger of all the political parties. Reasons why Cameroon became a one-party state. Ahidjo wanted to eliminate rival political parties or groups and avoid any challenge to his authority. Ahidjo wanted to increase his influence and authority over the state of West Cameroon. It was to enable Ahidjo to isolate and silence the Upasistes, still resisting his authority. To end profitless political warfare, especially in West Cameroon, which retarded development. To foster national unity, peace, and stability. The CPNC members felt that a single party would provide them greater chances of participating in national politics. The multi-party system encouraged a lot of tribalism and nepotism in the civil service. The burden of contesting national elections was too heavy for small parties.